Candice here already. There you are. All right, and Jeremy, I think we have everybody. Well, good afternoon. Hope everyone is well, and thank you all for joining us this afternoon. As we look forward to a new school year beginning in less than just a couple of weeks, there's a real excitement across HISD about what's ahead. Next week, we believe we'll have some exciting news to share about our STAR accountability data that we'll be receiving from the state. We are looking to finalize that data with the state here in the next few days, and we're very, very excited about what Monday, August the 22nd will look like in terms of sharing that data with you. The energy and momentum that's building across the district is truly something that is palpable. Teachers reported back to work this week, of course, and that are diligently preparing for the new school year. And I know I speak for many of us in saying that I can't wait to see our children at the elementary, middle school, and high school level across HISD get back into those hallways. With that, I'd like to take a moment to discuss a few areas of focus for the district as we prepare for the start of the school year. Number one, safety. First, I want to talk about school safety and the steps that we've taken already and are proposing to take in the very near future in preparation for the new year. The safety of our students, as many of you know, and staff as well, remains one of the highest priorities of any school district, and it's no different here in HISD. The HISD Police Department staffs approximately 200 full-time officers who are in our school communities every single day. Those individuals are committed to the work of keeping these communities safe. While school safety is always a priority, we have increased our scrutiny of our safety systems and processes since the tragic shooting in Uvalde, of course. Our police officers participate in annual active shooter training every year and coordinate those trainings with our law enforcement partners at HPD, Harris County Sheriff's Department, and the Houston Fire Department, and many other neighboring partners throughout Harris County and the district as well. Over the summer, many of our schools received upgrades to their security systems, fencing, and other infrastructures that enhance safety across HISD. We are also in the final phase of completing the TEA summer safety audit of all exterior doors, and officers being assigned to campuses will now be conducting regular inspections of those doors and campus exteriors as well. While we feel confident in the rigorous training and system improvements we've put in place, there is still significant need to ensure that HISD police officers who are first responders in any type of situation that it might have to do with being an active shooter are equipped with the necessary tools to address any type of threat. As you all heard me say last week, the district must do more to ensure that we are able to effectively respond to an active shooter situation. This is why my administration has put forward several items on Thursday's board agenda that will allow us to purchase the necessary equipment to swiftly respond to that kind of scenario or any other type of internal or external threat on one of our campuses. I'm confident that the board and I are fully aligned on the importance of keeping our students and staff safe and looking forward to the discussion that we will have tomorrow evening. Now I'd like to hand it off to our police chief, Chief Lopez. He's going to provide some additional details on what HISD PD is doing to keep our students and staff safe. Chief Lopez.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. I'm Chief Pete Lopez with the HISD Police Department. Thank you all for being here today. I just want to add some perspective to our school security discussions and then review what's been happening this summer. It's essential for everyone to know that HISD employs more than 200 full-time accredited police officers. Our officers participate in active shooter training and work with school administrators to keep our campuses safe. Our officers participate in programs that build trust with students It's often our students who tell the police officer or a parent about something they heard or saw, and that's very important. An engaged, trusting student body is the best defense against an active shooter. Stopping an incident before it happens is always the best option. We are in schools to make a difference every day. Over the summer, several HISD schools received upgrades to perimeter fencing, security cameras, and server capacity to increase video storage capacity. We will complete the TEA summer safety audit of all exterior doors before the beginning of the school year. Officers are assigned to campuses, are now required to conduct weekly door audits beginning in the school year. We also spent the summer studying what happened in Uvalde. After every active shooter incident, we learned things. Uvalde is no different. We review what happened and are asking our school board to approve equipment to help us in a similar incident. To be very clear, HISD PD will be the first responder in any active shooter situation that occurs on our campuses or facilities. And while we're confident in the training our department has received, we need to equip officers in a way that matches that preparation. It's very simple. We want to neutralize an active shooter as fast as possible. And we do that by participating in scenario-based training, and continuous preparation is the key to ending the threat as soon as possible. We studied Uvalde to learn and improve, and that's what we intend to do. HISD parents can rest assured that officers will continue to enforce the safety measures while exploring areas of improvement to ensure the highest standard of safety in the coming school year. Thank you.
At this time, our Chief Operations Officer, Wanda Paul, will join us at the podium to share some insight in reference to our operations procedures and what that looks like to start the school year off. Chief Paul.
Thank you, sir. Again, I'm Wanda Paul, Chief Operating Officer for the school district. Our business operations division includes nutrition services, maintenance, construction services, custodial, transportation, and a number of other crafts and skills. As we previously shared, all students in HISD will continue to receive free breakfast under the Universal Breakfast Program. As we have also said, most of our students will continue to receive free lunch under the Community Eligibility Program, while students at 9 schools who did not have enough free eligible students to meet the CEP program threshold will need to complete an income application. HISD will continue or will provide a household income application to all enrolled students at the 9 schools to determine their free reduced eligibility for the upcoming school year. These schools include High School for the Performing and Visual Arts, Harvard Elementary, Horn Elementary, Mark Twain Elementary, Travis Elementary, Oak Forest Elementary, River Oaks Elementary, West University Elementary, and Roberts Elementary. The business operations team continues to interview and extend offers to new applicants to fill vacancies, including crossing guards and, of course, bus drivers. Our facilities team continues to assess school needs and move forward with several facility maintenance projects and repairs to ensure a safe and functioning environment for our students. We are confident that we are starting the school year off strong and look to be an even stronger as the hiring continues to keep our schools moving forward and students learning. I want to remind anyone that is interested in joining our team to please visit houstonisd.org/careers. Additionally, I want to thank my staff, my enormous team, for the work that they do. They are incredible people, and I am so excited, and we are excited for the start of school. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Paul. At this time, of course, it takes employees that are in buildings that are working very hard on a daily basis, also in the central office, to be able to get the work done. And our Chief Talent Officer is here with us to share just kind of an update around what's going on in HISD as we look towards the start of the school year. Chief Jeremy is behind me. Jeremy's going to join us to share some insight.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Grant Skinner, HISD's Chief Talent Officer. Thanks for coming here today. I'm here to provide an update on staffing as we prepare for school opening on August 22nd. Our recruiters and principals, with support from many others, have done a tremendous job navigating a nationwide teacher shortage on the heels of a pandemic to get us ready to welcome our students back to school. When we developed our strategic plan last year, we recognized the staffing challenges faced by districts all across the country, and we put in place plans to retain and recruit more teachers. As a result of our efforts, we anticipate opening school with at least 95% of our teacher positions filled. That means for the overwhelming majority of teacher positions planned by our schools for the year ahead, we already have a teacher in place. More than 10,000 teachers have already begun their school year at their schools preparing for their students. Here's some things that contributed to our progress. We raised teacher salaries by 11% this year, putting our teachers among the highest paid in the region. In the spring, we invited and incentivized our current teachers to make a 3-year commitment to teaching in HISD, and 3/4 of the teachers who are coming back this fall have made that commitment to stay with us for 3 years. We have one of the nation's highest starting salaries for teachers with an entry-level salary of $61,500. We offered signing incentives for new teachers up to $5,000 for veteran teachers earlier in the year, and we continue to offer $2,000 signing incentives through the end of August. We've been hosting and will continue to host local job fairs and hiring events, adding to the dozens of trips that our recruiters take across the country every year. We pay critical shortage stipends to teachers in high-need areas like math, science, special education, bilingual education, as well as counselors, social workers, nurses, and transportation staff. We're welcoming almost 100 international candidates with certification from their home countries to teach in critical shortage areas this year. And we have an alternative certification program which we made free to recruit teachers from other professions. So people who make a career switch can earn their certification without any cost while becoming a teacher in HISD. After all of these things, in any year, in any district, schools open with some number of teacher vacancies, and we know on the 22nd that we'll have some vacancies. We're actively working with our principals to prepare to plan coverage for those cases. Most of our schools have additional certified staff, teachers performing other duties outside of the classrooms in their buildings, and our principals in some cases will assign those other certified staff to serve students in classes where there's a vacancy. And we'll also utilize long-term substitutes, prioritizing our long-term substitutes who actually hold certification to work as a dedicated substitute at the beginning of the school year in those cases where we anticipate a potential vacancy. And of course, meanwhile, we'll continue hiring. We're taking a long-term approach to staffing our classes with excellent teachers, and our efforts will not stop when school begins on August 22nd. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Grant Skinner. Of course, he mentioned on the heels of a pandemic, which I think is something that excites everybody in the room. But even though we are on the heels of a pandemic, we're still paying close attention to the health and safety matters of our county, of our city, of our state, and our country. So at this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Candice Castillo to the microphone to provide a health and safety update.
Thank you, Superintendent House. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Candice Castillo. I'm the Executive Officer of Student Support Services here in HISD, and we are excited and expecting our families and our students back on Monday, August 22nd. We know that right now there is a lot of different headlines. We continue to be on a pandemic, and amidst that, we still also are dealing now with the new monkeypox or the rise of monkeypox cases. So I want to start by reassuring our families that the district has taken and continues to take steps to ensure that we are going to be preventing as much as possible any type of spread. We are continuously working with our local health agencies, including the Houston Health Department, to train our nurses, to ensure that we have best practices in place and that we have the appropriate protocols in place as well in the event that this new communicable disease will get higher than what it is right now. We are going to continue using the cleaning protocols that we have been using since the pandemic, which means that we are using hospital-grade products to clean all of our facilities. Our facilities are clean consistently throughout the day, especially those areas that are considered high-touch surfaces, so to ensure that, again, our students and our staff remains clean, remain safe with areas that are clean consistently. As you all know, since the spring of 2022, we have updated our COVID-19 specific protocols. That means that since the spring, we have no longer required masks to be mandatory. That's going to continue. Our students and families and our staff will have the option to wear a mask if that's what they need. We do highly encourage anyone that need any additional layer of protection to wear a mask when needed and where needed. They have that option, and we look forward for them to make the decision that best suit their case. We also want to stress with our families the importance of talking to our kids about hygiene protocols. Hygiene etiquette is going to become more important, especially, again, we're continue battling COVID and then now monkeypox. So we want our families to understand what the best prevention measures are. And so ensuring that our children understand that at this time, we're not encouraging or we don't want them to be sharing food or drinks. We want them to, as much as possible, be able to wash or sanitize their hands. Our campuses are going to continue having hand sanitizer stations, so they're going to have access to that. And of course, our families are able to provide any additional type of protection they feel their student may need. We also want to encourage our families to understand what the symptoms are, so they are talking to their children, so the children can tell them if they're feeling any kind of way. We don't minimize those, and families can seek the help that they need. And the other piece that we want to also ensure that families are being very proactive with is washing of clothes, beddings, towels, and not sharing any of that amongst other groups that are outside their households, so that our kids, again, can remain safe. And most importantly, again, we want our families to be monitoring for symptoms. Symptoms can, sometimes be very similar among different diseases. So we just want, again, enforce that they're not minimizing any kinds of symptoms. We encourage families to keep kids home when they are sick or they are presenting symptoms of any communicable disease, so we can ensure that the rest of our community are also staying safer when preventing any type of spread. As we know, the best way to protect ourselves of communicable disease, besides prevention measures that we can take, vaccination is one of them. We are continuously working, again, with the health department and other partners to offer vaccine clinics throughout our communities. We're also going to be offering COVID-19 testing the weekend before school starts, and then the following weekend open to the community as well. So we want to ensure that we're bringing those preventive measures that they can leverage and taking advantage of if that's something that they need. But again, monitoring symptoms, getting vaccinated if they are able to get vaccinated is going to be something that's going to be prevention in the long term. So we encourage to do that. And if they have any questions about testing or vaccination, they can always check the website or contact their schools. Every school is hosting different type of back to school events, and they're having a lot of these preventive measures against communicable disease available. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Castillo. So for the last 20 minutes, you guys have received quite a bit of information, but we'd like to open up for just a few questions before we conclude the press conference.
The board item that you mentioned that's going to be up for a vote tomorrow, does that include the 200 rifles and ballistic shields for all HISD officers?
That is correct, absolutely.
And if approved, how soon could those arrive?
I can't give you a particular date, but we would be moving with our procurement department as soon as possible to get those officers outfitted ASAP.
My question is also the same. How many items are you presenting tomorrow to the school board to improve the safety of the students?
There are a few different items. I don't have those that agenda item, but it is a public records, and it's on our website to take a look at exactly what those items are.
Can you speak a little bit more about how that equipment would be used in training? Just because I think a lot of parents were taken aback to hear that HISD schools are not prepared for an active shooting.
And I want to be clear about what that looks like, because it was, in my opinion, taken a little bit out of context. I think there's very few school districts that are prepared for an active shooter with an automatic weapon. That's a very different type of perpetrator. So if you look at the difference between Santa Fe and the difference between Uvalde, Santa Fe, there was not a fully automatic weapon utilized. There was less lives that were lost. Uvalde, unfortunately, there was a fully automatic weapon used. So there are very few school system ISD police departments that are prepared at that level. But my belief is that our officers, our students, our community, our staff deserves the best preparation as we look forward to the future.
So to be clear, if you have this equipment, would you consider yourselves and this district prepared?
I would definitely see that we would be as prepared as one can be. I think it's about not only protecting, but being ready for the inevitable, hoping that the inevitable doesn't occur.
Can I ask a question to Chief Lopez in
Sure,
Spanish?
absolutely. You could have asked me in Spanish. I might not have been able to answer you, but...
Chief López, mencionaba lo que decía el superintendente, hace unas semanas se decía no estaban preparados. El día de mañana van a presentar unas propuestas a la mesa directiva del distrito escolar. ¿Qué es lo que ustedes están pidiendo para estar preparados? Y también mencionaba más temprano de que el distrito escolar independiente de Houston son los que van a estar actuando directamente, lidiando con alguna situación de emergencia.
Voy a ser claro. Cuando una cosa pasa en la escuela, los oficiales de HISD vamos a responder. Y estamos preparados a responder, pero necesitamos el equipo para hacer un atento más mejor, sin un rifle, sin los shields y el equipo que necesitamos para romper las puertas, para abrir las ventanas. Eso es lo que necesitamos. Y necesitamos el equipo y entrenamiento para hacer esas cosas.
¿Me puedes explicar qué están pidiendo? ¿Cuál es la petición a la mesa directiva?
Son las cosas que están en la agenda que puede mirar online. Son rifles, shields balísticos, herramientas para abrir las puertas, cosas así, varias cosas.
Si se aprueba esto, ¿cuándo van a estar utilizándolas? ¿Las van a tener listas para cuando empiece el ciclo escolar?
Va a tener como unos, no sé cuánto tiempo, pues depende en el proceso que cuando las personas que nos vamos a comprar los rifles y el equipo, dependen cómo está el supply chain. No va a ser como la semana que viene, esto va a ser un poquito tiempo.
Perfecto, gracias.
Last week, Mayor Turner had mentioned he was planning on speaking with you, and he said the city was willing to offer resources if needed to HISD. Has that conversation happened? And
So the mayor and I speak quite often, and we have communicated in the last week, but we communicate quite often. And the mayor, and it's not just the city. I want to be clear about that. It's been the constable, the sheriff's department, all of the first responders, the fire department. They all have a vested interest in our children. And we've been very pleased with what that communication looks like, and we believe that communication will definitely be followed up with action if and when there is a situation that we need them.
have they offered any kind of specific resources, though, at this point?
Yes, Chief has worked very closely with HPD and other first responders. A lot of people didn't know it, and we try to keep certain things close to the vest. In terms of what we share, we don't want to share too much information to become vulnerable. But what I will say is that we will continue to work very close with them to ensure that the safety and security of our students and staff is A1.
I wanted to also ask about the COVID sick leave policy. I know there have been concerns that teachers could be coming to work sick now that y'all are doing away with the specific COVID sick leave, and also the idea of teachers staying employed when you have staffing issues and you get rid of that sick leave. Kind of what comes next with that?
I think we're just in a different place. If you look at the COVID leave policies across the state and across the country, most people are moving in this direction. We feel like with vaccines available, with masking still optional, that it puts us in a very different place. So we don't expect to have major issues in reference to this shift, but we're looking forward to making whatever modifications along the way that we need to. But we feel very good about where we are and the decisions that we've made thus far.
And speaking of staffing, so I know that last year there was a real push to make sure that certified teachers were teaching these core subjects. Where are y'all on that process this year?
It's no different. Everyone wants a certified teacher in front of their child or in front of a classroom on the first day of school. As Chief Grant Skinner indicated, 95% of our classrooms will have that certified teacher, and we'll continue to work. The data is changing every day as we continue to process and hire individuals to be a part of HISD. I think the compensation package was a major part of that. Knowing that over 10,000 teachers are ready and will be ready to go on that first day, I think is extremely important. We also have the option, and have put this out to employees in this building that would like to volunteer. Last year we deployed them and put them out there, but this year we're going to do more of a volunteer basis of individuals that work at Hattie Mae that would like to go out and volunteer to get the year started.
Is there any trends in the vacancies? Are there any grade levels being affected more so than others, or geographic regions? Will some campuses bear a bigger part of the brunt?
We had some priority areas, and I'll let Chief Grant Skinner talk a little bit about those. Of course, we sunsetted Achieve 180, and we're focusing on transformation schools right now. A majority, I think, of our transformation schools are filled. As we look at our principal vacancies as well, a majority of those filled. There may be one principal vacancy going into the start of next week, and I think we'll have that solidified, if not an interim, before that time. But I don't know if there are any major trends by grade level or by race or particular area of town. I think we've done a solid job to really close the gaps that we needed to. Anything else, Chief Grant Skinner, that you want to share?
Candice Castillo, en español. Si me pudiera explicar de qué manera el distrito escolar se está preparando ante el brote de la viruela del mono. ¿Están tomando algunos protocolos o van a tomar algunos protocolos específicos para el inicio?
Sí, nosotros tenemos protocolos ya establecidos para cualquier tipo de enfermedad que se considera una enfermedad infecciosa con propagación rápida, y la viruela del mono no es distinta a lo que tenemos. Entonces nosotros seguimos trabajando con las agencias de salud locales, incluyendo el Departamento de Salud de la ciudad de Houston. Mañana nuestras enfermeras van a estar recibiendo entrenamiento específico de cómo monitorear qué clases de síntomas hay que ponerle más cuidado. Nuevamente, no solamente a las familias, a los estudiantes, pero también todos nosotros tenemos que hacer nuestra parte en cuanto veamos o sintamos algún tipo de dolencia, no minimizarla y buscar el cuidado propicio para ello. Entonces, nosotros seguimos constantemente monitoreando, esperando los nuevos desarrollos que se den, tanto información de la agencia, de la CDC, y a partir de allí, si hay que modificar algo, nosotros tomamos esos pasos. Un placer.
As far as the safety goes, in speaking with parents, they're happy about the idea that you guys might get more of the equipment if that vote passes tomorrow. But they also had some concerns about just the everyday safety and some of the facilities safety. Has there been any changes to the school's physical structure or police staffing on campuses since last school year?
Yeah, I think before you came in, we talked a little bit about some of the fencing and other upgrades, cameras over the course of the summer. But I think one of the things that we really have to understand is the vigilance around individuals being aware. It is so important to go along with the training that we focused on to ensure that our campus-based security teams are up to speed on the necessary training, paying close attention to what happens on a daily basis. And I'm very confident that we've made aware all of the individuals in our school district, from principals to teachers to different committees, that they're paying very close attention to anything that would be considered out of the ordinary from a security standpoint.
What would you say is the biggest takeaway that really comes out of what happened in Uvalde? I know you had said that y'all had spent the summer really studying what happened there.
So unfortunately, it's not. It's very unfortunate what happened in Uvalde, but before Uvalde, there were several other incidents across the country in 2012, 2013. You had Sandy Hook, which was a major incident. So we've learned from all of these incidents, and one of our board members or trustees, really said something that I think was impactful. And Trustee Hernandez indicated that she wanted to make sure that this purchase or these items that we're asking the board to approve were not emotional ask. And I think that's a very fair statement because it's not an emotional ask from our standpoint. We feel like that if we can be as prepared as possible for the worst case scenario, that's where we want to be. We want to ensure that we make certain that if there's a opportunity to subsidize or minimize the loss of life in the worst case situation, that's exactly what we want to do. So we've learned along the way in these several different incidents, very unfortunate incidents over the course of time. Want to say this, just thank each and every one of you for being here this evening. We look forward to seeing you at some of our sites as we kick off the 2023-22-23 school year and do it in a positive manner. You guys have a great one.